Evy Poumpouras, of course, you know her from Spy Games on Bravo and the author of the best-selling book. You guys, it is so good. I've read it twice. It is called Becoming Bulletproof. We'll get to all of that. First, I just want to preface to our viewers, this is a national hero that you guys are talking to right now. I'm getting emotional just thinking about her. Just to give you a quick snippet, and you'll learn about it in the book, she was in the towers during 9/11. She's a former Secret Service agent. She actually escaped the towers, went back in, rescued people, went back in again, got buried alive, so to speak, and then was honored with the U.S. Secret Service Valor Award. I knew her for years, never once told me that story because that's how humble she is. Evy, my dear friend, thank you for joining us here on DBL. I miss seeing you daily when we did Dr. Drew. How are you?
I miss you too, my dear friend. I miss you. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I've learned so much from your book. I feel like that your book is relevant now more than ever. You always have such great insight when it comes to national security and law enforcement. I've got to ask you about the shooting of Rayshard Brooks. Do you believe that additional police training would prevent events like this?
Does training help? Yes. But the real crux of the issue that nobody is discussing is the hiring process. It's who you are hiring. There are 17,000 police departments in the United States. They're autonomous, which means they've got their own police chief, commissioner, and they operate in their own hierarchy chain of command. So in essence, each department does what it wants, hires how it wants, resources how it wants, everything how it wants. Most police departments, all you need is a high school degree just to get in. So right then and there, an issue that you have is education. This is one of the most important professions, a profession in which you have power over the freedom of another person. You have the power to take the life of another person. And yet you can merely just have a high school degree. The other thing is polygraph testing. Now, I'm a former polygrapher and I was part of the HR process within the U.S. Secret Service. And there were plenty of times, Sam, where I would be interviewing an applicant for a job, and that interview would turn into a criminal interview. Wow. Because this person would tell me things that they did. The third aspect is psychometric testing. You need to assess the mental and emotional abilities of a person. So if there's a certain level there where you need to navigate and be like, do we want to give this person a badge and a gun? Also emotional intelligence, your ability to self-govern yourself. When you are in uniform or when you are functioning that way, your job is not to be a cowboy, not to be a hothead, not to bite back. Like, you have to maintain that level of professionalism. The true essence is the hiring process, because if you hire poor quality people, I don't care how much training you give them, you cannot work with that. So the canvas has to be good quality before you start painting and putting things on it. That is the crux of the issue that nobody's looking at.
Wow, that is such fantastic insight. I hope that our local law enforcement departments can listen to you, can adopt that nationwide. A lot of people are also writing in, Evy, and I always want to involve the viewers. A lot of our viewers have brought up the culture within our police departments where, and this is coming from some people that actually have personal experience, they're saying that they may not feel comfortable speaking up about fellow officers who have done wrong. Can you elaborate on that?
That is absolutely true. The environment was not designed in such a way for you to do that. However, now with what we saw with Minneapolis and George Floyd, with them charging the other 3 officers, that is going to change, because now you're not saying it's not just the person who did this act. You have a level of responsibility to act upon it. And you will see a shift of officers saying, but you know what? You can do what you want. I'm not going to go along with it because I'm not going to lose my job. I'm not going to go along with this.
Based on all of your experience, what would you like to see change when it comes to the police and their relationships with their communities?
I joined because I wanted to help people. There's this animosity towards the police. And when they say the majority are good, the majority are good. Now, the federal government has to step in and set standards. You know me, if I was still in uniform, Sam, how would you feel if somebody took a cement brick and cracked it over my head while I'm trying to enforce the law? We don't tolerate ignorance in our communities. I see that same ignorance being reflected to the law enforcement community, many of which I teach criminal justice. And a lot of the students I have come in, they say, you know what? I think the police are wrong. I don't like this. How do I change it? And I tell them, you know what? You become an officer. You become a judge. You become a defense attorney and a prosecutor, because fix it from within. Be the solution. And that is how you change things.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And it's really important that we do look at both sides, that we do have empathy for both sides, and that we collectively try to rebuild this distrust within the police, law enforcement, and their communities. Yeah, Evy, I think that you have done enough national service. To our viewers, this is a book that you must read. You will learn confidence, you will learn how to protect yourself, and you will learn all about her incredible life experiences. And you can get Becoming Bulletproof anywhere that sells books. It's selling out. Go grab it. It's a great read.
Thank you so much, Sam.